It may look to you like a small squished hammerhead shark, and that's because it is. It's a member of the family Sophrinidae, making it one of the only 9 species of hammerhead around. It is far smaller than the most famous hammerhead, the great hammerhead, being only 60 to 90 meters long, compared to the great hammerhead which is 4 to 6 meters long. They're the only known sharks to display sexual dimorphism in their head structure. Most sharks do have sexual dimorphism, but usually it's only a size difference, with females being larger than males. However, the bonnetheads have a different head shape based on sex. They also have another unique attribute. Their pectoral fins are surprisingly large for hammerhead sharks, as most species swim using solely their tail fins, and use their large cephalofoil or hammerhead-shaped heads to control their pitch underwater. The bonnetheads obviously have much smaller cephalofoils, and therefore compensate by having larger, more developed pectoral fins in relation to their body size. They then use these to control themselves underwater and swim better, more like the other species of shark that don't have hammerheads. Now on to the main part of this video. Though the bonnethead shark is a plant-eating shark, it isn't a herbivore. It still eats crustaceans and fish, as well as seagrass, so it's omnivorous. However, around 50 to 60% of its diet is made up of seagrass, and so it can really only supplement the protein needs of the bonnethead shark, hence why it also still consumes meat. However, some scientists have theorized that they do not deliberately eat seagrass, rather they are only consuming it by accident as they dig in the mud to find their crustacean prey. This is supported by findings that younger bonnetheads tend to have a higher proportion of seagrass in their stomachs compared to adult sharks, suggesting that the younger bonnetheads are less able hunters and so accidentally consume more seagrass than experienced adult hunters. However, this theory is becoming more and more unlikely as research progresses. As previously mentioned, 50 to 60% of their stomach contents are plants, and so they must be rather bad hunters to be doing this by accident. Studies done where seagrass was used as bait for these sharks also show that they very deliberately went and ate the grass, with them fully knowing that there was no meat, owing to their excellent sense of smell. Though it seems likely they do deliberately eat seagrass, meat is still the primary source of protein and energy for the bonnethead, as seagrass only usually has between 20 to 60 calories per 100 grams. It is thought that they might eat seagrass for another reason beyond just supplementing their diet. The theory is that seagrass acts as a cushion inside the shark's stomach to protect it from the spiny carapace of the blue crab that are its favourite prey. Other animals that eat sharp objects don't usually face this problem. Sea otters eat sea urchins, some of the sharpest, most painful creatures on the planet, but they have arms and so are able to pull the spines off before consumption. Though it probably does have a cushioning effect upon the shark's stomach, it's more likely that it's simply a second-hand benefit, and the primary reason for consuming seagrass is for nutritional purposes. This is shown by the large percentage of its diet that is seagrass, and by how it has adapted to properly digest and extract nutrients from the grass, instead of just passing the grass without absorbing its beneficial proteins and minerals. The final confirmation of the shark's omnivorous status, if you still need more evidence, is that during the study, despite being fed a 90% plant-based diet, the sharks not only didn't die, they also gained weight as they didn't have to move around to hunt. All of this makes sense, as if the shark was not getting the nutrients from the grass, then it would most likely starve, seeing as over 60% of its stomach contents were found to be seagrass. If this was just dead weight and eaten for the sole purpose of protecting its stomach, then it's a very inefficient diet. So you may be thinking, why was it found that young adults had more seagrass in their bellies than older adults? Well, seeing as they do get nutrition from the seagrass, it's more likely that they aren't being inefficient hunters, but for a young adult that is inexperienced at hunting, it's far easier just to eat more seagrass. It enjoys warm tropical and subtropical waters and will even venture up estuaries in search of seagrass and the crustaceans and small fish that live alongside them to eat. These sharks are however under threat. The populations are decreasing massively in the Pacific, Caribbean and the South America's Atlantic coast due to the destruction of seagrass habitats. A bonnethead shark gave birth to a pup despite being in a tank with only females. It was the first confirmed case of parthenogenesis in a shark, where an egg from a mother develops into an embryo without any fertilization from a male. So there you have it, a truly unique and amazing shark. Not only the only omnivorous, but also the only shark with sexual dimorphism of the head, the only hammerhead to use its dorsal fins for swimming, and the first shark to ever naturally successfully go through parthenogenesis. A truly fascinating animal.